Hey guys, I'm just getting ready to go out on a hike. I just made my boys pancakes because it was babysitter's night last night. So my boys and I have this tradition when their dad goes out and I'm babysitting, I always do pancakes in the morning. So I'm getting ready. We're going on a hike. I'm being forced to get some exercise. So against my will, I'm getting ready to go and climb my big butt up a hill. But I just have to remember it's for the quantum menace. So, Marilyn Monroe, I've been connecting with her. I had mentioned that in the other video. I'm talking to one of my students, my Nightingale Kingdom, Dina. She's so happy that she got to see that video of my teacher. She's always wanted to meet her, and I was just telling my Dina about Pauline and what she was like as a teacher. And I said, she was brutal. She was absolutely brutal. I said training with her was like living life, like you were stepping on landmines with grenades with the pins taken out, thrown at you. That's exactly what it was like with her. She gave me no time to prepare for anything. She just threw stuff at me and I had to just, boom, there on the spot, do what I had to do. I had to be lightning fast. She pushed me to my absolute limit. She was brutal. But she also taught me how to conduct myself, how to maintain myself in public, how to maintain myself with people who would question what I was doing and why I was making the claims I was and stuff like that. Like, she taught me to hold my dignity. And it's like I said to my student, when she, those who knew her best got her best love. But the public that knew who got her pure love, everything she did was with the purest of intent. But people also knew that she wasn't someone to be crossed as well. Like, she was respected in her field because she maintained her dignity and because she was a woman of science, a metaphysician to be exact. She had respect in many fields to the point where she would even be requested to do unsolved murder investigations by the police on the down low, because you know what the police departments are like, but they would actually go to her quietly. She did it with a couple of crimes in America when she was over there, because she was from Australia. She did some training in London, and she's been all over the world. And she's the one that helped me hone in my doing my crime scenes and that, because I get asked to look at a lot of crime scenes and murder scenes, and read a lot of autopsy reports to help people come to terms with their grief. Like, a lot of people who have had loved ones and family members and there's a lot of people suffering from the trauma of a sudden death in their life, that they need unanswered questions answered for them. And that's where I come in. I'm able to give them answers, and I get a lot of people coming to me with suicides where they're convinced that it was a murder or an accident, because they don't want to come to terms with the fact that their loved one actually willingly chose to, part the relationship. And so I counsel after I investigate, and that's what I love about what I do, historical grief investigations. Anyone who suffered a trauma in the past, whether it's that it's been absorbed by their subconscious mind and turned into something dark or depressing or depressive, or whether it's, to help them come to terms with their grief so that they can have one final goodbye, or so that they can put to rest what happened, because, a lot of people will carry survivor's guilt, so I can go into their mind, I can go into their connection, I can go into their future, their past lives, their whatever, but I'll always find a way to bring closure to the people left behind. And then, of course, because what I do, I can then alleviate Grandmother Earth from the suffering that she's encountered during the experience. And it means that the area where the pain and suffering was, whether it be for the victims or the people left behind, the heaviness is removed, and then there's no guaranteed no paranormal activity. So, as you know, my dad raised me from dot to work on unsolved mysteries and unsolved murders and that, and of course Marilyn Monroe. Everybody has questions about her. So when this B. Arthur thing came about, I started getting some of them, pop in and want to get some things off their chest. So I think it's her turn now, because she has some things. Hang on, my son's outside. Oh, he was just bringing washing in because I've got washing to fold. I can't carry stuff heavier than a sugar bag because I had 3 hernias after having my boys. 3 umbilical belly button hernias. So I can't lift anything heavier than a sugar bag. So they do all my heavy lifting for me, and he's just bringing washing up for me to fold. So so Marilyn Monroe has a couple of things that she wants to get off her chest. She wants to clear her name. And she wants to explain a few things. So basically she said that the biggest thing that she wants people to know is that she didn't kill herself, she was silenced. But it's not for what people think. She said that everybody, all these conspiracy theorists and that, keep saying it was because she was holding a press conference to name some names to get people in trouble. That she was going to spill the beans about her affairs and relationships and stuff with the rich and powerful, and that she was silenced because of that, and that's not what it was. I'm actually really surprised, but it doesn't surprise me, because when it comes down to it, she too was a divine feminine. And I'll explain why. She said her press conference, this is the bit that shocked me, was because she was about to announce her retirement. That she was going to retire from Hollywood and let Marilyn Monroe die, and so that she could just go back to being Norma Jean, because she said she was done with that life. She was looking for love in all the wrong places and found it in all the wrong faces, when all she wanted to do was be a wife and mother. She loved making the movies, she loved doing the work that she did, but she wants people to know that Marilyn Monroe wasn't real. That when she wasn't staring at the face of anyone on the outside, she was Norma Jean. And she wanted to go back to being Norma Jean, because she said she'd learned a lot from her experience in Hollywood, and she knew what to look for in a man now, and she wasn't going to find it where she was, because she said she was tired of being passed around like a menu. And she had come up with the idea of branding herself. She wanted to come out with her own business. She was apparently quite an astute businesswoman, because, as she said, people said I was the dumb blonde. But they don't realise that she was playing them all like a fiddle in order to make a name for herself, because she wanted to market herself in such a way that when she retired, she could make a profit off it in an honest way. And she wanted to come out with her own range of like beauty products, like perfumes and oils, and she wanted to market herself. She said Hollywood might have owned Marilyn Monroe, but they didn't own Norma Jean. And so she was going to just like Tippi Hedren and all that. She wanted to be that kind of thing. Tippi Hedren has the animal sanctuary now, and she used any money that she made in Hollywood to, put it back into humanity in that. And she wanted to come out with a product range where women could feel beautiful about themselves no matter what their size. She wanted to promote like body positivity and all that. And because she said, and because everybody knows that when a starlet fades from Hollywood, the money goes with them. And she said, and there are a lot of top brass, she said, who realised that they were going to lose a lot of money if Marilyn Monroe faded into the background, because she said nobody wanted to know Norma Jean, and she said, and that was her whole point. She was going to stop dyeing her hair. She was going to go back to having brown hair. She was going to cover up. She wanted to be a wife and mother. She said her greatest blessing was being able to sell herself as a sex symbol, but it was also her greatest curse, because deep down inside, all she wanted to do was get married and have a big family and make chicken dinners and apple pie, and teach the children to read and that sort of thing. She wanted to be a housewife. That's why she tried it so many times. But she said the thing that was worrying her is that she'd been forced to have so many back alley abortions. She was scared if she had any more, it would stop her from having children, because she said not everything back then was on the up and up. She said there were a couple of times where she battled infections and stuff, and she was terrified it would mean that she couldn't have children, and it's the one thing she wanted more than anything in the world. So she said it was an accident. She was taken out, made to look like an accident, made to look like suicide. She said too many people had too much to lose with her fading into the background, because she looked too good for people's images, even if it was in a negative way. And she said, like, take JFK for example. She said it gave him an image of being a ladies' man, which made him popular with, housewives and women of a certain age demographic. It made him look like a bit of a bad boy, which was good for business. It gave him a bit of an edge with, people who maybe weren't likely to want to vote. It made him look a little bit, sort of cool. And as she said, it even made Jackie Onassis look good, which is why she stayed with him. It's why she went along with it, because even she knew that affair was good for her image, because it made her look more pure, which the Catholics love. It gave her a lot of sympathy, especially after he was assassinated, and she didn't do too badly out of it afterwards with her marriage to Onassis. So she won all round. So, Marilyn said, I was good for people's image, I was good for business. But she said it wasn't me making all the money. She should have made a lot more than she did. People like to cash in on her, and they still do, she said. And none of it goes to her estate, because she said she's got family that could do with the money right now. So I'm assuming like cousins, and there must be a lot of them struggling. So so she had to say her piece. She's lived 2 lives since. That's all she's saying. I know one's male, one's female. She's on her 2nd now. She said she should have learned to stand up for herself, but she was too busy playing an image. She said sometimes it was hard to separate the two. everybody expects you to be Marilyn all the time when you clock off at the end of the day, you just want to be Norma Jean. So she said she's happy now because now she just gets to be Norma Jean, except she said it's like a... That's funny. She says it's like a reincarnation witness protection program. Reincarnation witness protection program. I love that. Oh, I love that. That's funny. Anyway, she obviously wanted to share that, so share it I shall. Now I've got to go and put my sneakers on. Like, walk. But I'm doing it for my bum. Okay, I'm going to go now. I'll speak to you later. Mwah.